I once shot a par round using this left shoulder in the downswing move. Want to know what it is? Keep watching. So what was this left shoulder move in the downswing I was doing that helped me shoot a par round of golf? Well, I was having one of those days where I was hitting the driver not too bad, hitting a lot of fairways, striking it pretty well. But after 3 or 4 holes, I found myself a few over par, things weren't going great, and I could not hit an iron shot to save myself from the fairway. Every time I was on the short stuff, I was hitting toe shots, thin shots, hitting it fat. I was just not getting the ball first. I wasn't getting that compression on the golf ball. Now, I thought long and hard at the time where you don't get much time during a round, and I went back to some basics with this left shoulder about keeping it low in the downswing that rarely gets talked about in golf instruction. It was something I was shown a few years back, and so many pros do it, but it never gets spoken about. And all I did was, and I'll go into a bit more detail why this can really help your game. When I was getting the top of my backswing, as I was starting down, I was lifting that lead shoulder up in this position straight away. And all that was doing was making my club bottom out back here somewhere. And I was using a lot of hands and arms to really flip at the golf ball. And from this angle, I was getting a lot of toe shots as well. So from this angle, it was looking like this. My hips were driving forward. I was early extending. If you do any of those things, you early extend, you hit toe shots, fat shots. I was looking like that, relying a lot on my hands and arms, which I could do not too bad to get any sort of contact on the golf ball. So what I started doing was, I had one swing thought in my head as I started my downswing. I went to the top, and I felt like that lead shoulder, that left shoulder for a right-hander, went down at the start of that downswing. It only probably moved maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches, doesn't move a lot. But what that was doing was, that little move there was enabling my club to bottom out just past the golf ball. And I discovered I started hitting my irons flush. They were coming off the center of the club face. And even though I didn't hit every green from then on in, whenever I missed a green, I was only missing it just off the back or just to the side. So my ball striking improved immediately just by getting that feel in my head, getting that lead shoulder lower to start that downswing. And I just started compressing it. Everything just flowed on beautifully from there. So let's talk about why getting this lead shoulder, left shoulder low in this downswing is so powerful for you. Now, this left shoulder getting lower in the downswing, it has a few really key benefits that are going to help your game. One thing it does is it really helps you get that shift. When you get that pressure into your back foot and your backswing, it really helps you get that shift into that lead side. It also helps you get those hands sort of dropping a bit lower and staying more on top of the ball, or covering the ball, as you probably heard, which enables you to compress on the golf ball nice and solid. And when you can do that, the ball will go further and a lot straighter. So as I get onto one here, and it also helps you stay in much better posture, which means you don't have to rely on your hands and arms. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When you get that lead shoulder going down, as we go down, helps me maintain my tush line at the back here. I don't early extend. When that shoulder goes down, I can maintain a better posture through to the golf ball and strike a lot more solid. I played with my father many years ago, and he always used to say to me, he used to love when his ball ended up in the light rough just off the edge of the fairway. And I remember asking him, why do you want to land in the rough? Don't you want to land on the fairway? But he loved landing in the rough because it meant that the ball was a little bit teed up, as long as it didn't sink down in the rough, but it was a little bit teed up, and he could pull out his, 5 iron, 6 iron, 7 iron, and he could just scoop on it like that, lift it into the air, and he'd get it up somewhere on the green or beside the green. And he was playing to maybe 16, 17, 18 quite comfortably for many years. Now, problem that was when he was on the short stuff on the fairway, when he lifted that lead shoulder up very quickly, which is what he used to do, He'd invariably hit way behind the ball. He'd hit slices, thin shots, toe shots, and he'd be in all sorts of trouble. So when you do the opposite and you keep that lead shoulder high straight away, so if you have a look at your swing on video now, and you've noticed as you start down, you're like this. That lead shoulder goes up straight away. What you'll find happens is your club will either bottom out way back here, or you'll catch the ball on the upswing, you'll hit it thin or toe it like that. And it's very difficult to save the shot when you're lifting that lead shoulder up straight away like that. So just a simple tweak to your game, simple feeling in this downswing of that lead shoulder can make a massive difference. If there's one thing I want you to understand from this video is that getting that left shoulder low, whereas the opposite getting it higher, is it changes the low point on your swing. And that's something I really want you to understand, because if you're someone that lifts it up high like this, it changes that point the club hits the ground. It'll be terribly inconsistent. And it doesn't matter whether you've got an iron in your hand or a driver, if you're changing your low point, that's why you're going to hit one good shot one hole and you'll hit a bad one the next. If you can keep that low point consistent, which is what this left shoulder low is going to do, if you can keep that left shoulder low consistent, you can consistently bottom out and have a low point the same every time, and that means more consistent golf. By the way, this also works great with your hybrids and your driver as well. It's just more effective with your irons, because the key part with your irons, as I said, is hitting the golf ball first and the divot after. So with those other clubs, you'll still get benefit, but the idea is you want that lead shoulder going down so you're able to really compress on the golf ball. Now I'm going to show you a pro golfer swing in just a moment. Make sure you don't miss this, because it will show exactly how this left shoulder is moving. Now I just want to make it clear from this angle here, it will go down. How much it goes down will depend on the golfer. Everyone's different. But as it goes down, it will only be for a split second. It will go down, then the shoulders will level out, and that lead left shoulder will go up and back. So very important that you don't doing this move here. It's going down, then the shoulders will level out, and then they'll move back. Have a look at this video swing of Tony Finau from Face On. I want you to pay special attention to the green line at the top of his head. As he completes his backswing, watch what his head does. It drops only about an inch or so, but as that happens, naturally that lead shoulder is going down as well. He's shifting pressure into his lead side. The arms are dropping down, and he's coming through to a great impact position. And this is something you can copy. Now, if you've got a really bad move with your left shoulder where you really savagely lift it up high like that, you may need to feel the exact opposite. And this is what I encourage you to do. Do the exact opposite until you find a happy medium. So you're going to need to feel, you'll probably need to feel like it's down like that. It won't be like that when you hit the golf ball, I guarantee you that. It won't look like that, but that's what it will feel like. You'll need to feel the opposite, like this, and then rotate. Really, really important as you're doing this. It goes down a little bit, then you get your rotation. You get your rotation going from there, you will start striking the ball very solid. So let's look at a drill that you can practice and build this into your game. Here's a simple pump drill that I recommend you practicing to build this move into your game. By the way, this will work for any level golfer, whether you're a high handicapper, low handicapper, even to the better player. You will benefit from practicing this drill and this left shoulder move in your golf swing. By the way, it's Troy from Hitting It Solid here. If you're new here, make sure you like the video. If you find you're getting benefit of it, drop a comment if you want to ask me a question about the video. Maybe there's something you still don't understand. Drop a comment, I will get back to you. Let's hit one. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make my backswing, get my setup, and I'm going to do a pump drill going 1, 2, and 3. And I'm focusing on that left shoulder going low as I start the downswing. Let's do it nice and easy. I'm just going to go 1, 2, and 3. Simple little pump drill. Practice that, feeling that left shoulder low. That will help you strike the ball more consistently. Now, this video here and this video here, they're going to go into more detail about this left shoulder in the whole golf swing, as well as the right shoulder, and get you playing fantastic golf.